Hey, yeah, what's up? This is Cyber Marshall Occurrence. Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with them, yeah. So, this video right here is basically going to be about America redeeming Joe Biden. This is just thoughts that I'm throwing out there. I'm not really, this video is not necessarily what I might feel to be something I can say is definitely true. But it's just something to think about. It's just something to look at. Let's put it like that. All right, so Joe Biden, when he first came to office, it was him being in the President Barack Obama administration. He was a vice president, right? Okay, so after that, he served 2 terms as a vice president. After that, obviously, Donald Trump got in office. And then Joe Biden becomes president. My thoughts are, did he become president because the first position as far as an administration, because he was in the second position in the Barack Obama's administration as a vice president? So is it because he was submitted to a black man that he had to come in, that America wanted to make him president to redeem a white man, to not allow that to be history, that a white man would come and be president and then have someone of African descent to submit to him? Think about it now. Think about what I'm saying. He was submitted to a black man. He was submitted to someone of African descent. And you may have liked it, but a lot of racist people did not like the fact that a white man was submitted to a man of African American descent. A lot of people didn't like that. So, did some of these people, which we know are not fond of black people, or they just feel like this American government is white family and they want to keep it like that? You don't think that with that perspective that some of them just thought, you know what? Let's redeem Joe Biden by making him the president because he was submitted to a black man. So let's make him president and let's make someone of African descent submit to him, which would be Kamala Harris. Because in all, folks, Joe Biden really don't have no skills. And then, after Joe Biden gets out of office, then if the plan goes right, Donald Trump will get back into office, and then white America will really be back on top as far as influence. It's like, in other words, since Barack Obama has got out of office, period, it's been all about taking all that influence and washing it down the drain. That's what it's been about. Because Donald Trump came in office and everybody just totally forgot about the fact that an African American was in there, a man of African American descent was in there, and the influence that had over the entire country and world. And Donald Trump came as a counter, I believe, to destroy that racial progress. Look at it for what it is. This is somebody that is a total contrast of Barack Obama. Or even some would dare to say an African American leader altogether. He's a contrast to any African American leader. And this is who America chose to put in position. And I also think it's another racist statement saying if a man of African American descent could be a president, then we can make anybody a president now. Donald Trump can be a president now. We can make him a president. We can make anybody a president. See what I'm saying? So these are the insinuations that I think is worth thinking about, because I think it's all about, since Barack Obama got out of office, I think it's all about getting African American influence out of the leadership of America. That's what I think. So I think that they put Donald Trump in office just to say, hey, if an African American man of African American descent can be president, so can Donald Trump. So can some famous fake financial mogul. He can be president if an African American can be president. It's that kind of statement, and it's also the counter to racial progress here in America and internationally. Because everyone has forgotten, basically, that Donald Trump was even in office. Everyone has forgotten about it. Basically, because of all the shootings, police shootings, all of the racist undertones from the Donald Trump's White House. Now, it's just all gone. That progress is all gone. So I think that it's all about washing away all that progress. That's what I think. Look at it for what it is. And I think it's all about, getting rid of all that progress. So keep that in mind. You never know. Don't never just, with these people that's in leadership, never assume you know. Never assume you know exactly what it is, because just assume. Look at it with it not as so much as being optimistic. I'm not saying be pessimistic, but look at always motives for white America as a white family to dominate. Always look at that, because that's who they targeted more than anybody, is non-white. I would say, targeting not necessarily to always kill, but to keep subdued, to keep in a certain place. Look at more than one type of targeting. But just keep that in mind. Joe Biden, all of a sudden, he was the president. He's the president after he was submitted to a man of African descent. Now he's in the position of the man that he was submitted to by being president. And not only that, he has someone of African descent that was in the position that he was in with Barack Obama now submitted to him. It's something to think about. Remind you, Barack Obama was the first African American man of African American descent as a president. So this is the first time, first of all, that an African American was a president, a man of African American descent was a president. And in that position, or with that administration, the Barack Obama administration, the white man was submitted to the first African American president. And I don't think people like that picture. So I think they decided to say, hey, you know what? We're going to redeem that man. We're going to redeem our white family. We're going to redeem, quote unquote, the white man here in America, because that's ridiculous for him to be submitted to a black man. So what we're going to do is we're going to redeem that man, put him in position over an African American. And that's his redemption. He gets to be in the position that the African American was over him, and he's going to have someone of African American descent submitted to him. And this is going to redeem the white man. I'm showing you where this is going. I mean, look at this, guys. We're going to redeem the white man from because it disgusted us so much that he had to submit to an African American man, that we're going to put him in the position the African American was in. First, we're going to dismantle all the racial progress by putting a loose cannon like Donald Trump in office, and make all races be black and white, make black and white be back at each other's necks. And then we're going to take this man that was submitted to the first African American man in the White House. We're going to take him and redeem him and put him in the president position, whether he's good or not, whether he's qualified or not. We're going to make sure we're going to use Donald Trump, make sure nobody use him, make everybody be back at each other's neck, but make sure nobody wants him back in there so that we can get Joe Biden in there. So now Joe Biden gets in there because you don't want Donald Trump because he done so much messing up racial progress that the man that was submitted to the African American has to win. He has to win because you don't want Donald Trump. Donald Trump done his job. His job is to bring everybody back at each other's necks. And then, so that's his position. Then putting him doing that so bad, so heavily, that there is no choice but the man that was submitted to the African American man. So he comes in, he counters all the progress of the African American man, and then it's already considered that he gonna mess up so bad that the man that was submitted to the African American man is gonna be the president. You ain't gonna be able to lock in another Republican against Joe Biden that will win. He's gonna be locked into the man that was intentionally meant to fail so that he can be the president and have an African American. He can be the president, therefore redeeming himself, and an African American will be submitting to him as well. This is the redemption, therefore, of the white man's image here in America. That's the redemption. Makes sense, guys? It's just something to think about. I'm not saying this is now, in this particular video, you know how I always tell you, everything is factual, everything is real, and that's the truth. But this right here is just really worth, this is worth pondering. I'm not saying take this perspective. I'm not saying this is factual, but it is very coincidental how this puzzle fits together. It's very coincidental, I guess you could say. Ironic all as well. How he was submitted to a white, Joe Biden was submitted to a man of African American descent, the first African American president, President Barack Obama. Then he gets back in office and has someone of African descent that submitted to him. Now remember, that didn't have to happen. Some would say that barely happened, that Kamala Harris came into office. So if she hadn't came into office, what would have been the odds that someone of African descent would have got there? See how that works? She submitted to him, and that couldn't have not happened. Some would almost say that's a fluke. And yet she just happened to be black submitting to him. And if that hadn't happened, this, what I'm telling you, wouldn't fit perfectly like I'm saying. He submitted to someone of African American descent. Now someone of African American descent is submitting to him. And the odds of that is what I'm trying to say is very, very slim. So it's coincidental and ironic to me that it happens. He just so happened to have submitted to an African American president, the first white man that did submit it to an African American president. And now, out of nowhere, a president of African American descent that we really never knew is now submitted to him, and he's now president. Like I said, that could have easily been somebody just white. That could have easily been a man. We all know that. In fact, if it wouldn't have been Kamala Harris, it would have obviously been somebody white. It would have been somebody white. It would have been somebody white. But just so happens he gets someone of African American descent to submit to him, and he first submitted to someone that was African American. Remind you, America doesn't seem to like Joe Biden's politics. He's been running for office since 1988, for all you guys that don't know. He's been running for office since 1988. That's since I was 7 years old. I'm 40 years old. Joe Biden has been running for president since I was 7 years old. Wow. Okay? So it's something to consider. It's something to ponder. It's just too perfect. Like I said, Kamala Harris, the odds are, it's one out of I would say one out of hundreds of thousands of a chance that someone of African descent would have gotten that vice president seat. And just so happened the same man she submitted to had to submit to an African American. Now, an African American is submitting to him. So this works out psychologically. This works out making people see, and then it's a double submission because it's a black woman, and the woman is already, some would say, naturally submitted to a man. So there's a double emphasis psychologically on submission. So it's like, okay, African, but a woman, and that makes the submission even heavier on the fact that it's an African. fact that it's a person of African descent, the fact that she's a female makes the submission even heavier, which is to put the African descent, put the people of African descent heavier, harder, definitely back in a submitted position to the white family of America. Let's just look at it like this. If it was another country, let's say some Asian country. No disrespect, I'm part Asian myself. But let's just say some random Asian country. I'm not going to name one. Let's just say some random Asian country didn't want they wanted the Asian family to stay in position. Okay, but just so happened a white president became a white man became president in this Asian country. So they wanted him, let's just say they didn't like it, no one likes it. So they put another Asian guy after this guy, this white guy, into leadership so that everyone can be back to normal. Everybody can be psychologically back to normal with the Asian family being on top and everyone else submitting to that Asian family. So that works out good. This Asian guy comes back in. He makes the white race. Remember, we're talking about another country, but it's parallel to here with black and white. This Asian guy, representing like Donald Trump, comes in after the white guy has served in this Asian country. And this Asian guy comes in and puts Asian and white back at each other's necks. So that's done successfully, and now the Asian influence is now kind of back on top. That's just like when Donald Trump came in and all that stuff, that the racial undertones put white people back on top as far as psychologically, as far as being better than, being the superior race here. Donald Trump came in as an agent, did that, then put Joe Biden in. Now, back in the Asian country, if it was a white country, Asian country with a white man, and they was trying to make the whites submit once again. Let's just say, okay, beyond the Donald Trump part, now we're at the Joe Biden part with the Kamala Harris part as far as the Asian country. So the Asian man gets to now, because he had to submit to, let's say, like it's parallel. So the Asian man had to submit to a white man. The same white man, another white man comes in, like I said, puts Asian influence back on top. Then the same Asian man that had to submit to the white man, now he is a president, and a white man is submitted to him. A white woman is submitted to him, which is double the submission. Now you see how that looks? And now the influence of white family on top, the white people back on top, is now well and alive again. Nobody cares about. It's basically, in essence, they assassinated all the influence and power that, even though they didn't physically kill Barack Obama, they didn't do that, but they've killed all that energy and progress. With Donald Trump, that's what he's doing. That's how they got him. Instead of physically doing it, they did it psychologically. They assassinated all his progress as if he wasn't even in there. Look at it for what it is. Everybody is back at each other's necks, and you don't even feel the same energy or no energy that you felt when Barack Obama was in office. It should get you angry when you really realize what has happened. Because either way, this has happened. And all that progress that Barack Obama, that's what's factual, which still keeps my videos always factual. is the racial progress that Barack Obama made in his administration is all gone from the Donald Trump administration. It's all gone. Everybody is back in their corners. There's been too many killings out in the streets. You know, even when you hear African American kids say, why our president is like this and why does he feel like that and this, that, and the third, it's showing you that that was successful because now kids are feeling inferior about their race all over again, like as if we was in the 60s and the 50s. You see what I'm saying? It's all back to that. When kids start speaking up, it's out of control because now, if it's in the psyche of a kid and it hits a kid's understanding, what has it done to the adults? More than one thing, that's for sure. Okay, so all of the Barack Obama administration's progress is gone. You know, children are complaining about Donald Trump. African American children are complaining about Donald Trump. That means that's successful with now non-white people feeling inferior again. And now you put Joe Biden in office with a black woman, African American woman, submitting to him, which shows white authority having superiority over black power. She's a black power, right? He's a white power. Now you see white power having black power submit to it. It's all psychological, folks. You got to follow it and you got to understand it.